JV's ability to handle double teams, how far has he grown in that area?
Well, he's gotten better in a lot of areas. In those situations where reading the speed of how quick they're coming down, how deep they're digging, or it's all out double team, he's much better this year than he was last year. So again, I think with him, just reading situations, reading where his outlets are going to be really important if they decide to double team.
He's also saying that he feels himself anticipating the next move a little better, and where not just where he has to be, but where he can be the following step.
Again, all those things are things of growth that he's gone through over the last couple of years. The speed of the game is not so fast for him anymore. He understands if they take away A, he's got the B move, and then he's got the C. So, again, signs of growth now. Initiating those and executing those are a different thing, but he's ready for the challenge. He's improved so much. His confidence level's high. Again, he's not a finished product, but he's making huge strides of being a complete player.
You joked before that when he first came into the league, he didn't even know names, he just knew numbers. And how much of a difference does that make in the NBA when you actually have the scouting report, when you know the guy that you're going up against?
There's old saying KYP, know your personnel. And he knows the league so much better now than he used to, Josh. When he first, and again, you can't expect a young man from Europe coming over, barely speaking the language. So many obstacles you have to come through and understand. He doesn't know who Ramon Sessions is or whoever. Some guys that are not named Kobe Bryant and LeBron James. So it's very difficult. But again, he's a quick learner, good student. He's a sponge when it comes to absorbing information. So now he knows exactly who's who from 1 through 15 on most teams.
What do you think your team's learned about trust and togetherness, and how important is that when you get to this part of the season in the playoffs?
It's huge because, again, we're in a foxhole together, and if you don't trust the guy next to you, there's something wrong. And it's very important to trust, to be able to throw the ball into JVs, make the next pass, and trust you're going to get it back. When you see two bodies in front of you, trust, I got to get off of it and get it back. So trust is a key word on both ends of the floor, on offense and defense right now.
How's Terrence Ross doing?
He's doing fine. I mean, he went to the doctor, saw the doctor yesterday, had no symptoms of concussion, but going by NBA protocol, we have to wait and see how he can continue to respond to ramping up his activity and that type of thing. So we'll see. We're going to list him as questionable tomorrow and see how he feels, but there's no signs of concussion from the neurologist.
Dwane, we've seen a couple of teams, Golden State and Dallas, win in this playoffs so far with backup point guards. How much of a luxury is it for you to have a player in Corey who's experienced in the playoffs, as a quality player, to know that you can bring him in and know what you're getting out of him?
I think it's so important to have that backup point guard. And then, too, I thought DeLon Wright played well down the stretch. So I wouldn't be afraid to put DeLon in because he's been a 4-year college guy. He's not your typical rookie. But having a guy like Corey who's had 41 playoff games under his belt, to give you an example, DeMar DeRozan had 17, I think it is, or something like that. So, and Corey's been in 41. Now, he wasn't a superstar. He wasn't a key guy in all those 40, but he was there. He participated. So he's been through the ringer a few times. So it's huge. Corey under pressure has been great. He's got that high motor. He can go from 0 to 100 off the bench quickly, and he's one of our toughest guys. So it's a huge luxury to have a guy like Corey.
How big is transition defense game 3?
It's always big, Zig, and even more so going to their place. They're innately a running team, especially with Monte Ellis. He got going. That's who got them back in the game with his transition game the other night. So we got to do a good job of getting back, make sure we locate our man quickly, and mainly stop the ball before it gets into the paint or to their sweet spot.
How much of you guys embrace the challenge of having the weight of a city and a country rooting for you? There's no hockey teams in the playoffs. You guys are it.
Well, I don't know about all the hockey and all that stuff, but we take that challenge proudly. Starting in training camp, we had training camp in Vancouver, Halifax, all over the country. So our guys understand, where we stand with the country. I mean, it's an important part of what we do to represent the country of Canada, the city of Toronto. And I cherish it. I know the players do too. I think it's so important, and it's a blessing. To be able to have an entire country behind you is a blessing. Now, what you can't do is let the weight of the country be on your shoulder. You got to go out and steal basketball, 5-on-5, 48 minutes. So that's the key. But we embrace the fact that we represent the country of Canada.
Coach, how advantageous has the schedule been given? You get a couple of nights at home, you get to practice in your own facility, things like that.
Well, it's great, but we're getting ready to pay the road back. So it turns around. And again, home or on the road, you still got to play at a high level. We're going into a hostile environment in Indianapolis, so we got to go in there with our backs against the wall. And again, that's where that word trust comes in. We got to trust the guy next to us in that battle. So we know what we're up against, and looking forward to the challenge.
2 games in, are you seeing a steady progression thanks to Mari? I mean, in terms
Getting
of
better, getting better. I don't know if he's there 100% yet, Michael, but I think he's getting there, and I don't know if he's going to get there throughout the series. But we like where he is. We're going to, continue to watch his minutes and make sure he's, responding well to playing. And he has. His body has responded well to the minutes he's been given.
I know he had the early 2 fouls.
Second final question, Mike.
Thanks, Lava. I know he had the early 2 fouls. Did he get to the point where, is he able to give you what you need on George right now?
Yeah, he has. Unfortunately, he did get in foul trouble. That kind of took the zing out of it a little bit. But we was proud of the way Norm came in and competed. We're proud of the way other guys joined him. James Johnson is feeling better, so we'll see where that goes. So it gives us some other guys to be able to look at Paul George and try to slow him down. He's such a great offensive player that it's going to take more than one scheme or one person to try to slow him down, because he's such a great player, and he's a big part of what they do.